Okay, so I will also say hi. My name is Andrew. I study here at FEL. I believe everybody else is from FEL, or most people are from FEL. Yeah, so I study an English program, just like Mr. Miao. And the last year, the whole year, because somebody asked about if it's possible to stay for 2 semesters. Yeah, so the last whole year, 12 months, I spent in Hong Kong, which is in the South Central Asia. And I spent summer school and 2 full semesters of exchange in Hong Kong. So I'm going to share my experience. It's going to be less serious. I will not talk about courses, about registrations, papers. It's mostly just going to be some nice pictures. And I will just show you why it's so nice to go somewhere far away. I followed the example of Mr. Miao. I decided to go far away, did not go to Germany. I love Germany, but I decided to go far away. How do I skip? So this is the campus of the university. Looks very nice, looks like desktop, right? Very beautiful pictures. So this is actually what every day I would wake up to. Which one? Okay. So I would wake up and I would see a beautiful view. This is a picture from the canteen, and this is a picture from the library. So university is located outside of the city. It's basically surrounded by nature. And the place, the location is called the Clearwater Bay, and you can actually see it. It's a very, very beautiful place. It's pretty quiet for Hong Kong as well. So on this slide, I found 3 pictures of me being in the city, actually. So you can see the architecture is very different from what we can see here. They have much less space. So buildings are very, very close to each other. And I even managed to take 1 picture with no people, which is very, very rare. Because usually all the places are really, really crowded. Because in Prague, there are, around 1 million people, yes, live in Prague. In Hong Kong, it's a city of the same size, but there are 7 million people. So it's much more crowded. Another thing that Mr. Miao told about, that it's really easy to get food, even at night. So Hong Kong is never asleep. It's very, very different from Prague and from Europe in general. Because in Asia, you can just wake up at 2 a.m. and go eat. And Hong Kong is a very good example of a place that is never asleep. So there are lights on 24/7. People work, study, go somewhere. It's always moving. And the picture on the right is the very famous Hong Kong harbor. I think it's called Hong Kong Harbor. One of the most famous places in Hong Kong must be. And then when people hear Hong Kong, usually imagine just a big megapolis with many, many people. But actually Hong Kong also has amazing nature. And as you can see on the pictures, it's usually about water, because it's like surrounded by water from all the sides. And mountains, so local people really, really like hiking. And also the picture in the middle is my favorite picture, I guess, from the whole exchange. This picture in the waterfall. It's a really, really amazing place. Wrong button. Yes. Now, one more point about hiking specifically. Hiking is, I guess, the most common way for local people to escape the city, to escape the noises, and escape from other people, most likely. Escape from other people. So they just go hiking. There are many places to hike. I know here in Czech Republic, many people are into hiking. So it will be very, very interesting. Yes, then food. So the part that I liked a lot is Asian food. So what is different about Asian food? Probably everything. Nothing is similar to food in here in Europe, in my country. Everything is different. Absolutely everything is different. The only thing that I want to recommend, that wherever you go, to any place in the world, try to buy local foods. Because I've seen many, many foreigners, especially from North America, from Europe, they would go to Hong Kong supermarket and they would just buy ham from Australia, and it costs 300 koruns. It's crazy. And you can go to Asian markets, for example, where you can find products much cheaper and of higher quality because they're fresh and they're local. It's much more interesting for me personally, so I would recommend, don't go to supermarkets, don't be boring. Try to find something local, try to find some interesting foods. Another point is Asian food is mostly spicy. So we Europeans, we don't eat spicy food. So it might be difficult for many people. So maybe you have to be careful with spices. Ask them specifically to not cook it spicy or too oily, because it will be a big problem for many Europeans. Then, very important point is people, because Asian people, they're very different from us, from Europeans. And the main point is they're very shy, usually. So you have to be more open-minded. You have to be more active, I would say. It will not happen that they approach you and they will say, hey, let's be friends. It never happens. So you have to go in, you have to be first, you have to initiate the conversation. And another point is language, of course, English. Because my first language is not English, your first language is not English. Same goes for them. They study English in many cases for many, many years, but they are still very shy. And in many cases, they cannot speak very well, so they don't want to try. They're really afraid. So my suggestion would be my advice. Do not be afraid to speak English. Do not be afraid to make mistakes. I have a very heavy accent, so just try to do your best, okay? Everybody is interested in talking. Everybody wants to learn from you and teach you something about their country. So my suggestion is don't be shy, don't be afraid. Even if you think that your English is not perfect, it doesn't really matter as long as you can communicate. It's a very, very good thing to just go and talk to people. So these are my friends. Most of them are locals. And there was also one white guy from France who I met. He was my only white friend in Hong Kong. Yes. Then, because of the Hong Kong's location, it's very easy to travel somewhere else. So I visited 4 other countries while being in Hong Kong. And I went to the mainland China 2 times. So these are 2 of my friends in the mainland and 2 of the biggest cities. Everybody knows Shanghai. I think everybody knows it, yeah. And another city, Chongqing. It's the most populated city in the world. 33 million people live there. That's insane, yeah? That's crazy. And it was very interesting to just be walking the streets, being the tallest one. Many of us are very tall, right? But they are much shorter. So they just look at you like this. Like, what's up? Very, very interesting. My friend, the one on the left, he was walking with me. And when there was a crowd of people, many, many people, he said, Andrew, don't get lost. Ah, it's fine. You will not get lost. It's okay. Then it's also from China, my other friend. So because I have many Chinese friends, I had a chance to just visit their hometowns, home cities, travel a lot with them, meet their families, siblings, and I had a great time. So this place is Macau. I think Macau is pretty famous as well. It's possible to go to Macau, I believe, right? Somehow. At least when I was applying, for Hong Kong, it was possible to go to Macau as well. There are several universities. Yes, so I visited Macau. Very special place. So if you want to go there, it will be very interesting, definitely. Oh yeah, then I visited Vietnam. So for you guys, Vietnam is closer, right? Because there are many Vietnamese people here, we all love them. So I decided to go visit Vietnam. It was also a very, very interesting place. So if you have a chance, I recommend you to go. It's actually an amazing experience. Yeah, that's still Vietnam. Just a cool picture, so I decided to put it in here. So this is the last slide. On the left, it's Malaysia. It's the capital of Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. So I also went to Malaysia. And on the right side, it's Singapore. It's also possible to go to Singapore. It's not easy, but the universities there are really, really cool. They have very, very high level. So if you're able to go to Singapore, definitely consider. It's a very nice place to go. I just visited as a tourist. I went there with my friend and met my local friend as well. So I cannot talk about life in Singapore, but if you have a chance to go, definitely go. That would be very, very interesting. And about traveling itself, with my passport, I had no problems. It's very easy to get a visa to everywhere. It can even be done online in most cases, for like Vietnam or Malaysia. You can just do it online. It will be very fast. So if you can travel as much as possible. That would be my suggestion. And I'm done.